And away we go.
Execution to perfection.
The All Blacks lay down the challenge.
Desperation dive.
Oh, Artie Savia!
The decision at second five, can you just talk about why Geordie's won the race there over David this week?
We've just gone with combinations from that Eden Park test. Said at the time, you know, Geordie winning and I thought it had an outstanding game. So it's a chance to give him another start in that position in a different environment against a different team. So just, you know, I guess it's a bit about gathering information for the future, but also pretty excited about, you know, what he brings and also the ability, I guess, to use Davey off the bench and utilise Geordie maybe in a different role later in the game.
What were those things that you saw from in his first test start at 12?
I think those who watched, he was just physical, he was direct, he's a good communicator, and you know, I think we're in a nice spot because you know, we're really impressed with the way Davey grew through the rugby championship. Then took a bit of a ding. It gave an opportunity for Geordie to go in there, and this is a chance just for us, I guess, to cement his understanding of that role in our team. And going forward, I think it just, like I said, it just gives us a different style and a different game.
Does it feel important to start the Northern Tour or Europe League with a statement performance?
I'd love to do that. It's we started it last week, I guess. So this is game 2, but you know, it's a stadium that we love playing in, and there's nothing better, you know, in our mindset to go out there and against a very passionate team to actually go and play really, really well. So that's certainly the goal.
I know you've been talking a lot about consistency and chasing that. Is this a real opportunity to prove that in this face-off?
Yep, every test like that.
What do you want to see in this match that you didn't see in the last?
In last week's game? Oh, look, it's we've come off a month's break. We've come in together. We've had this is our second full week. Where you can see we're introducing a number of guys that I guess didn't play last week coming back into the group. So the challenge for us is to get our combination work really strong very quickly. But you know, the Welsh are going to demand that because they're a passionate team. They play really effective, high tempo rugby, and if we're not in our game, then you end up chasing them. So, look, we love playing here, and are really up for what we know is going to be a very physical encounter.
And how do you get that lead from the get-go and then maintain it for as long as possible?
Score points. I'm not quite sure the gist of the question.
Well, the mentality, like how do you get them in the right mind frame to start off well, which is essentially what you want them to do?
Yep. Well, every test is different. You know, every team goes in the park wanting to start well, and the key is not just to start well; it's actually to finish well. I mean, you look at last week, we're up 21-3, and so the key is to stay focused for extended periods and finish it right through the end of the game. So something that we've done well in some situations and we haven't done well in others.
There's such a long legacy of success against Wales, and especially last year it was incredibly convincing. How do you mentally prepare people and make sure that there's no complacency?
Well, it's no issue with us because we know how tough it is. So, you know, I think you're pretty short-minded if all you're doing is focusing on last year, because if you go back the last 10, 15 years, it's never easy here, and every game's been tight. Even last year, up to the 60-minute mark, the arm was a real arm wrestle that game. So, expecting nothing different.
Are you expecting any surprises from Wales, and if so, what would they be?
Well, if I knew what they were, they wouldn't be surprises. But
what are you expecting from them in terms of?
I think I've just explained that they're going to be. They're a team that know their game. They play high tempo. They're very confident in what they do and very physical. And so, you know, a lot of strong ball carrying, a lot of carry clean type rugby, and also they quite like the aerial game. So we see a nice mix in that area.
If you go back to Eden Park with the Geordie selection, I think that was forced on you a little bit.
The Geordie what, sorry?
The Geordie selection at 12
yep.
Eden Park with a number of injuries in that area. Did that performance, you know, sway your thinking? Because I think you predominantly referred him as a fullback prior to that.
Yep. Yeah, well, I said at the time that certainly swayed our thinking. So it's we'd factored him in there. He played at 12 the week before when we had the injuries. We enjoyed what he did there. We know he's really competent at 12, and we've been inserting him at training for right throughout the year into that, and having a bit of time in that space. So sometimes the opportunity knocks in different ways, and the key thing is that he went and took it. So. And this is probably a reflection of we think he deserves a bit of a reward for that performance.
Do you still see that 12 jersey as contestable? Because I guess throughout the Rugby Championship you showed a lot of faith in Dave Billy and Rico Alani.
Yeah, I think every jersey's contestable, and so it's we stated at the start we wanted to build some combos through that Rugby Championship. I think we did that. We were consistent. In that, and I think that was important for us to get our game, get confidence in what we were doing on the park, and it's like always happens at Test matches, injuries and circumstance open doors for someone else, and when they take it, it's just a matter of revisiting your thinking. So I think you've got to be flexible in your thinking. I don't think it shows a change of direction, because we were delighted with where Davey finished up, and you'll see him back in that jersey at some point.
You welcome back Brad Weber into the squad. What's he shown you to convince you he deserves that spot on the bench?
Oh, look, he's played really well. That 9 position was a tough selection. We really felt this was a year we wanted to give Folau to have a good look at him in this camp, and I guess he knocked out a couple of pretty experienced campaigners. So with his injury, it's opened the door for Brad and also TJ. Like TJ will be playing in the other team this weekend, and Brad with us, and just carry on doing what he's doing. And we've given him a couple of little things we wanted to tidy up on, but look, he's a quality person, and we kind of felt, well, he's here, so let's get him in there.
In regards to Anton, he made his welcome return last week. Is it comforting to have someone like him on the bench for a game like this?
Yep, it is. He's come back well, and I think his bench time last week will be really good for him. He's been out for a long time, so just to get the confidence to go 100% instinctive, that's what he's really good at. So I guess this is another little step in that return to, I guess, 100% from a mental side, and but delighted with him. He's getting better and better every training.
Ian, do you know whether the roof is going to be open or closed?
Shut.
And you're happy with that?
Yeah, real happy. It's raining, so I don't know if we're to say on that. I don't know whether we did or didn't, but we certainly would have voted for it to be shut, and so we got told yesterday it's going to be shut. So
yeah, in the summer, in the first 2 sessions, Springboks altitude Wales played a quite conservative box kicking defence-based game. Then in the third match, they looked to play more expansive. Do you expect the latter this time, especially given that they seem keen to have the roof closed? Yeah,
I think so. I think whenever we've played Wales, I've got a lot of time. I think the last couple of years they have played a more expansive game. They've played, I think they're determined to. They got good wingers, good outside backs. They're determined to bring them into the game. They still like the aerial game, and it's part of their strategy. But they're certainly willing. They certainly test you right across the park, not just in close. So it's always a battle of inches against them. If you don't do well in that close quarter carry clean type area, then you open up real opportunities for their backs, and I know they'll be excited to take it. So we're expecting a pretty high tempo game.
Yeah, but it always comes into focus north to south, especially at the start of the autumn, is refereeing interpretations. And have you had a chance to speak? Did you get a chance to speak to the referee pre-match generally?
No. There's new the new interpretations are really that we just work through Joel Duke with any messages we have, and he passes them on to the refs, and so we'll catch them in the shed before the game. But we know Wayne very well, and he's a quality ref. Bit of a milestone game for him, which we congratulate him for, but he's quality.
You obviously talked about a lot here, 69 years since Wales beat the All Blacks, 32 attempts, as alluded to that success you've had over, you've dealt with perhaps Graham and Steve, you've spoken to them about the history. What's your take on the history of this fixture?
it's always been a sort of a passionate rivalry, haven't it? Like, I think there's been a lot of respect between the two countries. There's been some massive occasions, haven't there, where the game's gone down to the wire, and and you remember some very, very close games over the years, and I guess the Kiwi connections through the coaches over the last 20 or so years has probably made that rivalry even a little bit more familiar. So it's a game we really look forward to playing here. It's a special place with the stadium and the Welsh fans and I think the Welsh players they play for the right reasons, and again, looking forward to that.
Just on the history of the team, it's the 50th anniversary of a pretty famous moment in Welsh history when Keith Murdoch got sent home from after playing a test against Wales. Do you have any memories of that, or was it talked about growing up? Do you have anything to say about it?
I obviously look older than I am, Jamie, but not surprised actually. But no, I don't have any memories of it personally, but I certainly have. I've been fully aware of the story and the events. It's one that I guess it's part of our history. We've always had a tradition to go down to the Angel pub and have a little chat about it as a team, and just to talk about one of our men and what he went through for there were rights and wrongs in that situation, and some good learning for us about as an All Black team. So he is part of our legacy and history, and one this team will be remembering.
Again, you've gone back to Cody at starting hooker. What's behind that decision this week?
Look, it's just managing our three hookers more than anything. I think that we had to make a late change last week with Colsey's calf, which put Sonny into the starting lineup, and Cody was going to have a break then, so he ended up playing. So we just sort of felt, well, we've got two battle-hardened hookers, and we'll just switch them around. But again, Cody was probably under a lot of pressure in this last test start, and again, we were delighted with how he went about it and played, and it was good to see him back. So it's again a chance for him to cement his role and as one of our leading hookers, and a lot of confidence in him in that regard.
And you've got all six of your midfielders playing international rugby this weekend. That's obviously the benefit of having that All Blacks factor in alongside you? Yep,
it's part of the plan, and it's, I said after the Japan game, I think it's important for Roger and Braden to get another hit out pretty soon to cement what they went through last week, and they would have taken some learnings from that and a chance to play again on Friday together, and then come back and rejoin us. So, so pleased with that.
Will Jordan's tour is over, is that right?
Yep, he's over. So it's he's dealing with a vestibular issue that's not progressing fast, and so rather than him or us having any pressure around his return to play, it's just better to make an early decision and just let him chill out and come right and come back firing next year.
You obviously lost Sam Kane. This is a big chance for Dalton, I think. This time last year, he played pretty well for you up here.
I played really well up here, and so it's a big opportunity for Dalton, and again, it's disappointing to lose Sam. I think he was, with his sort of disrupted year last year, it was good to see him starting. I think he's starting to really build through this year, so it's a bit frustrating for him, but it opens a door for Daltz, and everything he's done with us has been quality, and I know he's pretty excited about that.
Is there anyone else with the squad at the moment in short-term niggles or anything like that?
In terms of like niggles that would miss a game type stuff, not that no.
Ian, I guess last year you were kind of restricted what you could do, where you could go because of COVID. Has it been sort of a more enjoyable trip for the squad this time of year, which is relative normality again?
Yep, definitely. Look, it was I feel like I've talked a lot about last year's tour, but it was very unique with some very different challenges, particularly at this stage of the tour last year. But the team certainly enjoying being able to get out and about and back into the old tour mode. You just got to be a little bit careful still with a few things, but we're delighted to be able to get out and about and experience the different cultures, because let's face it, it's still a pretty special part of touring, and you know, for some, you know, this particularly us, and I'm sure it's with other teams, but the All Blacks, we enjoy getting out and about and getting to know the I guess the locals, and particularly local golf courses are taking a hammering yesterday. But no, it's been nice. No. You obviously haven't seen me play golf.
Awesome. It's another big game on this weekend. The Black Ferns are playing the World Cup semi-final. Any advice, or what would Wayne Smith be telling them, do you think?
I would say that rugby coaches get too much advice anyway from the outside, so I trust Smithy and Chrono, Ted, that group, and Whitney. They'll have it under control. And look, I know they're passionate people. They've worked hard for this campaign, as is that team, and to see their growth through this campaign has been pretty special. So you know, we just can't wait to see them play and to just wish them luck. It's you know, to be able to play a semi-final on home turf is pretty cool, and I know they'll be up for it.